Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, all praises to
YAHAWAH BAHASHam YAHAWASHI.
A double honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching the truth and in sincerity. Let's get 1 Thessalonians 5:1, bro. Somebody get Matthew 24. Just going into prophecy. All right, because we're at the end of Esau's rulership, man. And this is a time frame we really have to lock in into the spirit. And also, the closer you get to that finish line, the stronger those demons will become. It's just part of the game, man. All right? That's all.
All right.
What's they doing? Yep.
Hey, the 1 Thessalonians 5:1.
Right.
But all the times in the season, brother, you have no need that I write unto you. All right, verse 2. For yourselves, knowing perfectly that the day of the Most High so coming as a thief in the night.
Right. That's why you got to be on guard, because the day of YAHAWAH BAHASHam YAHAWASHI comes as a thief in the night. Now, if you know anything how a thief gets down, a thief comes in when you're not expecting. So we're supposed to be watching, right? Another term for a prophet is a watchman. All right, so we have to be alert. We have to be aware on the day of YAHAWASHI. Okay? Go ahead, bro. Keep going.
All right, verse 3. For when they should say peace and safety,
Right.
then sudden destruction come upon them.
Right. So when they shall say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction come upon them. And guess what, y'all? We're in the time frame of no peace. All right. Hey, get Ecclesiastes Chicago 3. Talks about time for this, time for that. Keep going, bro.
Then suddenly destruction coming upon them.
Right, and 2/3 will get caught slipping. Why? Because they lack the Holy Spirit. They don't understand what's going on. All right, and at the same time frame, they're so embedded with making it in this society and things of that nature. You know, when the day of the Lord comes, then they will not be aware. All right, go ahead, bro.
Travailing upon a woman with child,
Right.
and they should not escape.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. But ye, brother, are not in the darkness, but in...
Right, we're not in the darkness. Why? Because we have been enlightened via the Holy Spirit. So we understand what's going on. We see how the Most High is manifesting himself within these prophecies, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
That day shall overtake you as a thief, as a thief.
And that's the main point. Do not get caught slipping. If the Most High has gave you the spiritual gift to understand, and you have to work that spiritual gift so you can receive salvation, man. All right? Go ahead, bro.
It's Revelation 3:18.
Right.
I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
Right, and guess what? These elected men, they have to go through something in order to get to the kingdom of heaven. Now, what makes you stronger in the gym is the resistance, all right, which is a slow process, because as you're working, let's say your triceps, and when you do those tricep pull downs, you're going slow and you're squeezing at the same time. So from a spiritual standpoint, how do we improve in the spirit? By staying in this spiritual fire, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yep. That thou mayest be rich in white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy
And
nakedness.
what makes us rich is what? This truth. All right, understanding this word, that's what makes us rich. And at the same time frame, we are purified in the spirit. Go ahead, bro.
Because the scriptures say that we are chastised as sons,
Yup,
right? And
that's
not as
right.
bastards. And then you think about that squeeze you're talking about, because the righteous are able to endure that tight squeeze of YAHAWAH BAHASHam YAHAWASHI,
That's right, bro.
which is that pressure, those daily infirmities and afflictions,
That's it.
adversities.
That's it.
And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve.
Right, so if your eyes have been anointed, mean what? You can see through the darkness, man. So we understand this whole facade of America. We understand why, because basically we've had that spiritual vaccine, man. Go ahead, bro.
That thou mayest see.
Right, and we can see from a spiritual standpoint. So we understand what the hell is going on. Go ahead, bro.
I said, that's why YAHAWAH told the disciples, bless are your eyes for they can see,
Yup.
your ears for they can hear, man.
And then the angel told the prophet Esdras to do what? You know, to be more concerned about them that shall be saved
Yup.
instead of them that shall perish.
Right.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Right. And a lot of people are going to die. Now, within that day, you have a term called duality. So you're going to have the elect, they will be saved, and you're going to have the non-elect, all right, and these other nations, all right, beginning with the nation of Edom, they're going to be destroyed. All right, so it's going to be a lot of hollowing on one side, but then on the right-hand side, you're going to have a lot of rejoicing, man.
That wailing of gnashing of teeth from a certain sect of people.
That's right.
And then they're rejoicing and the breaking out in singing.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. And we've been waiting on this day for a very long time. Now, imagine the apostles of Great Millstone, beginning with the Apostle Tahar, that has been actually working, doing the work for the past 30 years, man. All right? Go ahead, bro.
Yep. And not to mention our past lives.
That's it. That's it.
Right? It said the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets.
That's right. That's right.
This is back in Isaiah 13:7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
Right, because that's how, hey, when they see what's going to happen, what will actually transpire within that day, people are going to pass out. People are going to have heart attacks, man. All right, it's going to be a lot of death and destruction. From a Christianity standpoint, they make it seem like everybody's going to be saved, but no, when you go into the scriptures, you understand that the day of the Lord is going to be a very terrible, gruesome day, man.
That's right.
All right?
So the bodies are going to hit the floor, both by way of death and destruction, and also by them simply falling out. You know, fainting.
That's it.
And the Father is going to have it to where He is going to utterly plague this land with signs, wonders, visions,
That's right.
destruction,
That's right.
death, plagues, torments, and the list is going to be ever enduring, man.
That's right. That's right. All right.
I got two more verses.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13:8. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another.
Now, once a woman goes through travail, right, meaning have these birth pains, they don't stop until that process is over. So literally, that pain that the 2/3 will receive from YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, that's not going to stop until they actually perish, man. All right, go ahead.
Their faces shall be as flames. Behold,
And that's going into what? That anxiety, that anguish, all right, that they're going to have before they die. Go ahead, bro.
behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath
The
and
day of the Lord comes cruel, both with wrath. For who? 2/3 of our people. They're going to get it the worst, man. Because while they had the chance to come inside this truth and be saved, but we know via the scriptures that it was not predestined for them to do so, man. Go ahead, bro.
cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
To destroy the sinners, all right, and to lay the land desolate, going into what? The United States of America, man, because this land mass will be utterly destroyed, all right? America has that top position in influencing these other countries to do wicked, right? When you go into that term influence, it means what? To pour in. So America has utilized its glory, its might, as a great so-called kingdom to influence these other nations, right? And what do they do? They set up these puppet governments, right? And these puppet governments, they control the minds of their inhabitants, all right?
And that's why coming up, our parents pick and chose individuals that they desired us to be around, and those bad influences that they desired us not to be around.
Right, you sure
right?
about
Because
that?
what they say, the birds of a feather flock together. So as a man is, so shall he be, and also the surrounding individuals around him.
That's right, bro.
That's why you surround your company. The scriptures tell us to keep thy keep thy foot at the doors of the wise or the ancient.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Meaning be around those of the same and like-minded.
That's right.
And understand that the Heavenly Father has the end set up, and for it to come, it's literally right around the corner.
That's it. Go ahead, bro.
Ecclesiastes 13:16. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his life.
That's right. That's why you don't see men down in the ocean hanging out and going to the park with whales or dolphins. You know, and the like, you don't see the fishers here walking upon land, hanging out and giving us high five, man. You know what I mean? So every individual hanging out with his like. That's why harlots hang out with harlots.
Right.
Righteous men hang out with righteous men. The dope dealers hang out with one another.
That's right, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
People in the Air Force, police force, military.
Yeah.
They're all linked up. Your firefighters. Everybody's crewed up.
That's right.
Same vibe, same tribe.
Same
That's how it
vibe,
goes.
same tribe.
And why is that? Because as it is written, can two walk together lest they
That's
be
it.
agreed?
Yeah.
Right? And you read the book of 1 John, it says to do what? It's to try the spirit, and you try the spirit by the spirit. So when you find a like-minded spirit is yours, you do what? You conform more so closely unto it. That's why that darkness of this world, the people that lie in darkness, they rather lie in darkness with other individuals that are in darkness.
That's right.
Because if we come in blazing this light, we're going to be a bad taste in their mouth, man.
And then the definition for a consort also means partners. Back on you, bro.
Sirach chapter 13, begin at verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. I mean, that came out already.
Yeah, it's real when it come
It
out.
sounded real familiar, didn't it?
Yeah. And this is Amos 3 and 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? You know, and that's the point. The only way you're going to be able to walk together, you have to have the same agenda, man. So if this man believes in something and I believe in something different, well, that's going to cause what? A disagreement. So we can't walk together if he believes in one thing and I believe in the other thing. You know,
Scripture say it's like a one band, one sound.
one band,
right,
one
right.
sound. Yeah.
And that's why on the dating scheme, they call it chemistry.
Yeah.
Like if you are chemically connected to the other individual with
Yeah.
opposite sex, you're more inclined to love that person, to treat that person
That's
right,
right.
in order to endure with that person, because y'all are chemically connected.
Yeah. And that's what caused that passion and that fire.
Man, what?
That desire. You know?
You said passion, fire, desire.
Yeah.
The one of the elders in New York, Taza Dakba, he was like, chemistry go back to chemet, which
Yep.
means heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calm.
Yeah.
Calm.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Because, you know, when y'all got that connection, you can't see it,
Yeah.
but y'all are drawn to each other and it causes that heat.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's that Rick James song? I think that Rick James, fire and desire. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Really appreciate
That is Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day
that
of
destruction unto you that desire, that crave, that really want the day of the Lord. Go ahead.
to the end. To what end is it for you?
So what is the end result? All right. Are you going to receive salvation or will you actually be destroyed? All right. And these so-called Christians, a lot of you are going to die because you don't know what you actually getting yourself into. Go ahead, bro.
The day of the Most High is darkness and not light.
Right, the day of the Most High is darkness and not light, meaning what? A lot of people's gonna die. All right, a lot of people will be destroyed. What is Zechariah 13? Man?
Scripture say the slain of the Lord should be me.
Yeah,
Now he's going to plead with all flesh.
yeah, yeah,
Goes to the word plead, goes to judge.
yeah. So within the nation of Israel, you have the elect within the elect, man. That's how cold YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is, man. And it's all about getting that status as a first fruit. When you go into that term, it means those that are superior of their class, man. Who's the class? The nation of Israel. You know, and what makes you superior? That king status. You know, but all of us will be kings, but it's going to be levels to it, Yash. You know, brackets.
Yep.
You know?
I had the ground like this, to shine like that.
Yeah, the ground like this and shine like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
And in Zechariah 13
I know.
and 8, it should come to pass that in the land said the Most High.
Meaning what? And it shall come to pass. How so? Meaning that this day would actually transpire. It will happen. Go ahead.
2 parts of therein shall be cut off and die.
Right, 2/3, all right, of our people within this demographic of the United States will be destroyed. Go ahead.
But the third shall be left therein.
But the third shall be left therein, meaning what? The third shall be saved. That's that new heaven and that new earth that Apostle John the Revelator saw coming down from those chariots, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
Verse 9.
He actually saw himself. Go ahead.
And I bring the third part through the fire.
Bring the third part through the fire, and that's literal, right? Because basically, Lord will, with the hopeful elect, we're going to be in those chariots. So we're going to see America being destroyed, and that's going to be a beautiful view, man. Go ahead.
I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them
And that's
as
going through that spiritual fire, man, that resistance. All right? Standing in that fiery trial of YAHAWASHI. All right?
and I will try them as gold is tried.
Right. And I would try them as gold is tried. Go ahead.
They should call on my name, and I will hear them.
Right, so the elect is going to call on the name of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And that's also a qualifier that you have the Holy Spirit, right? By calling on that name, man, you have to call on something. You just can't call on God and Jesus and think that Yahweh and YAHAWASHI is going to honor that, man. Go ahead, bro.
And I will hear them.
Right, and I will hear them. Hear who? The elect, man. Go ahead.
I would say, it is my people.
Right.
And they should say, the Most High is my power.
Right, and that's what we're doing, you know. That's what we're doing via the Holy Spirit. Got something else?
I got precept for
Go
it.
ahead, bro.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1.
Yeah.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and
All the proud. All right, and who's the proudest person on this earth? Esau, Edom. All right, and under him, you have 2/3 of our people because they think they know everything, and they're gonna be destroyed with their joint heir.
Yep.
Because they're linked in that same fucking spirit.
The Lord told me that it follows the devil.
That's right. Yup, that's right. Go ahead, B.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
Meaning what? That America is going to be destroyed. And if you take something, like if you take something by the root and you take that out of the earth, that is the term eradicate. And once that root has been removed, then that item can no longer grow anymore, man. All right? If something is destroyed by the root, and that's how we know that America would never be inhabited again. Jump to Isaiah 34.
I got a quick question.
Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1,
Yeah,
in verse 9. But what do ye imagine against the Lord?
Right.
He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time.
Right, so Esau, Edom, all right, this is your last hurrah. All right, so once we get in power, all right, via YAHAWASHI, you would never come back in power again. All right, and then after 1,000 years, you will be bundled up like those sticks, and then basically you'll be burnt up. All right, but after those 1,000 years, you would never see an Edomite, such as a so-called white person, with that skin and shit like that, walk the face of this earth ever again, man.
Pursuant to the prophet Obadiah.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, and verse 2. It says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness, and that's S-U-N, arise with healing in his wings.
And that's YAHAWASHI, and that's where we're waiting. All right, and literally once YAHAWASHI redeem us, no more pain, man. You won't even cough in the kingdom of heaven, man. Go ahead, bro.
And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
And that's a prosperous future right there, man. And guess what? And in the spirit, we're actually growing like that as cows in the stall. I mean, so like as calves in the stalls and things of that nature, bro. Go ahead, bro.
And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts.
Right, and that's the day we're waiting on, man. The second coming of YAHAWASHI. All right? Yes. Did you have something?
Yeah, I have
Go ahead.
You want to get yours?
No.
Okay.
Dealing with the roots.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Job chapter 18, beginning at verse 15. Beginning at verse 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath.
Wanted to eradicate.
That's right, going to eradicate. Right? And the Most High is going to utilize nuclear fire to eradicate Esau Edom, man. He's the king of terrors, and under him you have his son YAHAWASHI. Go ahead, bro.
His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street.
And this time frame has not happened yet. So what is Vocal Malone talking about?
Yeah.
All right, we're approaching this time frame right now. Now, when this time frame comes into existence, that's when Yahawashi has literally cracked those clouds, man. Okay?
Going to that no man, you think about the prophecy. I said, is this the man? You know what I'm saying? That made fire come down from the heavens and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So in the kingdom, he's not going to have that name or that glory anymore.
That's right.
You know?
Yup.
He's going to go back to what Yahawah Bahashaam Yahawashi originally made him to be, the basis of men.
Yup. That's it.
He did it with every other nation.
That's right.
If you can recall the Persians.
That's right.
All right. Hey, who was it? Cyrus? He was referred to like as the Messiah. The
Dang.
Chronicles. The Chronicles.
No, I say.
Isaiah. I'm sorry, but every king of those nations, they were like demigods. They're like gods on earth. Now look at a damn Iranian.
Yeah.
Somebody think about a damn Iranian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
It's a laying back you the Heavenly Father had called Cyrus his servant.
His servant. That's what I was connected to. What?
Oh, yeah.
His anointed.
His anointing, man. But each king from those heathen empires, when they were empire, they were like gods.
That's right.
That was Caesar. That was their Caesar Borgia, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah, some of them were calling themselves King of Kings.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
They
Exactly.
title on themselves.
Right.
Like the real Egyptians, where they at now?
Yeah, look at them now, man.
Sudan.
That's destitute.
Through.
So it's very plausible to understand that when we say, according to the scriptures, Esau is going to leave from that demigod state
Right.
to that base state is very plausible because it happened with every other nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So how much more the nation that he hates?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the Bulls now, it's like the Bulls in '96. You know? The 76ers back when the 70s. You know? No, I'm sorry, not the 76ers. The Celtics.
Celtics, yeah.
The Larry Bird.
Yeah.
You know? They don't have that same glory as they did the Cowboys. You know? They're only a shadow of what they used to be.
That's right. A shell. That's right.
A shadow.
Yeah.
So it's very plausible that Esau's going to have that same demise, man.
I got a quick one. This is Proverbs 10 and 30. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth.
Yep. So the wicked should not inhabit the earth, man. Esau about to lose his dominion, basically. You know? All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the heaven that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happening to them all.
Every nation had their chance to go into power.
right.
The Most High is a fair power.
That's right.
But when he took that torch from them, they lost their glory.
That's right.
You know, you get like a beautiful woman on social media or a rap video, then you see it without her glory, like that's Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Filters.
Got the filter.
That's Beyonce.
Yeah.
What's the old girl, the little Dominican?
Cardi B.
That's Cardi B.
Right.
And without the filters, man.
Yeah.
So they all have their rise and fall, man.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
Yeah, cool. So you want to talk about them ancient empires?
Yeah.
And it's just an account to show you how proud Pharaoh was. This when Moses first came back to him, you know, addressing him in the name of Yahawah. This is Exodus 5:1. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus said Yahawah, power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahawah? And that I should obey his voice to let Israel go. I know not Yahawah, neither will I let Israel go. And I'm reading the verbatim because that's what he was saying. Like, who was Yahawah?
Yeah.
I don't know Yahawah, and I'm supposed to listen to you because you come in his name. But they're showing you the pride of these ancient, you know, rulers. You know, they looked at themselves, you know, as guys, man.
And not
You know?
goddamn Pharaoh, man. He's somewhere in Sudan. He doesn't even have the strength to knock the flies down and
Yeah,
shit.
eating that Don cake.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what was that? Was it the mayor or the governor of New York when he said that God? What did he say about God?
He owes apology for Sodom and Gomorrah.
No, about the vaccine.
One of these days.
He was saying God didn't do this and science did it, something like
Yep,
that.
yep.
Como,
Yeah. Yep. And now he unemployed.
Man, what?
I think they said that in the book of Eli. Will Smith's character. It wasn't God, it was science, some sort of effect. Because science is their God. That's their religion, man. It's their Satanism, all right?
They call it the sciences, you know. And Esau, you know, he taps into these different sciences on the left-hand side. You know, he's opened up, you know, to the power on the left-hand side. And he thinks he's a god, man. You know, you have a man that has access
to the mindset of billions of people, man. You know, they have a council, all right. Then they tell their puppets, all right, to play. They execute the council, and then millions and billions of people think how they want them to think. You know, so this man, really, his God complex is on a whole nother level than any of these ancient, you know, kings and emperors and pharaohs, because no other heathen had this much reach this quick, man.
And that's why it says knowledge puffeth up.
Yeah.
It gives you that God complex.
You think about what Esau's, like his scientist, his Roman Catholic priest, that's like his left-hand priesthood, you know? And so with his science, he keep, the Chinese, yep. So his science, he keep vocalizing about mainstream news, as it says, staying 99 enchantment.
And that science is really a deviation from YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI.
That's all it is.
You know, it started in the garden, and it manifested like in the what's called the so-called Dark Ages, during the Enlightenment theory, during the Enlightenment period. The Enlightenment period was a deviation from religion to science. That was the beginning of Satanism. The beginning of Satanism is when you deviate somebody from their God. So like I said, the Enlightenment theory enlightened in Lucifer, light bearer, you enlighten with the knowledge. So it's almost like you're being civilized from the oppression of religion. You know?
Yeah, and they so cunning with it because they say that, well, God gave us this vaccine.
Right.
They trying to, you know, use that.
Right. But what God though?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Ultimately, it all goes back to your
anyway.
It's his beast, it's his chip, it's his vaccine. I know, man. God damn, that's a strike, man. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, this thing is
Shit.
3 and 15. Now, if you be ready, that what
We've been rolling pretty good, huh?
We finna have no account.
Go ahead, bro.
and this thing is 3 and 15. Now, if ye be ready, that what time you hear the sounds of the cornets, flutes, harps, sackbut,
The psalteries,
psalteries,
dulcimer,
and all kind of music.
Right.
You fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if you worship not, you should be cast in the same hour in the midst of the burning furnace.
Keep going.
And who is that power that you should deliver you out of my hand?
Now you see the mindset of this so-called king. That's who Nebuchadnezzar, right? Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead, bro.
Verse
So
16.
he had a semi-god complex as well.
Yeah, let's link one real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Because read that last part again. Because it shows you that he had a God complex.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
And that's how it is, once they get all this power, they get comfortable. They haven't been touched in a pretty good time because the Most High has this hedge around them.
Yeah.
They start saying whatever they want to. There's no more boundaries, right? But see that those same idle words always come back around and it hits them full force in their face.
Like Titanic?
Yeah.
Remember the quote they stated?
What do you say? God himself.
Yeah, gonna seek this ship.
Right, but who did the Most High utilize to seek the sheep?
His creation.
Yeah, his creation.
Yeah.
Hey, get that, man. Be just to back us up how Leviathan played with the ships.
And who is that power that should deliver you out of my hand?
Right.
Deuteronomy 32 to 39. This is from the Most High.
Right.
It says, see now that even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I
Meaning that the
heal.
Most High has full control. He's that guy. But right next to him, you have his son. Everything is in order. But when it comes to the ultimate, you have Yahawah, then you have Yahawashi. And guess what? All things has been given to Yahawashi via Yahawah, though. Go ahead, bro.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Right, so once it's time for these kingdoms to go down, once the Most High pulls that plug at the desired or allotted time, there's nothing they can do.
Who can resist his will?
Who can resist his will, man? Go ahead.
I did Daniel 3 and 16.
Right.
Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Verse 17. If it be so, our power who we serve is able to deliver us from the burning furnace, fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of the hands of thy king. Verse 18. But if not, but it known unto thee, O king, that we would not be able to stop, that we would not serve thy power, thy gods,
Right.
nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
And that's the mindset we supposed to be in, okay? All right, do not worship the image of Esau, right? And this new image is going into this beast-like system. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 18. Verse 19. Then Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury, in the form of his vintage, will change against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
And his facial expression changed. He became extremely angry. Go ahead, bro.
Therefore, he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was want to be heated.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Go ahead.
To cast them into burning furnace, fiery furnace. Verse 21. Then these men bound their coats, their hosting, and their hats, and the other garments, and they were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right.
Verse 22. And therefore, because the king commanded was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flames of the fire slew those men and took up Shadrach and Meshach. And
that's how hot that fire was coming from that furnace. All right, it actually slew the man that was about to open the furnace to put these great men in. Go ahead, bro.
And these three men, Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, fell down.
Low battery.
Fell down and bound into the midst of the burning fire furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished and rose in haste and spake and said unto his council, did not we cast 3 men down in the midst of the fire?
So 3 men was cast into this fire, right? Go ahead.
They answered and said to the king, true, O king.
Right.
He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire.
So a 4th man was in there with them. Continue.
And they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the son of the Most High.
And that goes to show you that these heathens knew Yahawah and Yahawashi. And like, just backing your point up, when you read Exodus 5:1, when the Pharaoh was basically saying like, who is Yahawah? That goes to show you that they knew our powers back then. For them to say this looks like the son of the Most High, they had to understand who Yahawashi was, man. Yeah. All right? Bring out your point, Elder.
And some priests.
Go ahead, bro.
Only thing was, they looked at themselves as gods and they had their own gods. But but they all knew about the Most High.
That's right.
But I got something for the God complex.
Go ahead, bro. You can break it down to it.
Daniel chapter 4, verse 28. All this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty?
You see that shit? My power. All right? Go ahead, bro.
While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee.
And who took that kingdom? Who took his kingdom from him? YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Right? So the Most High used his son to create kingdoms, and he'll use his son to destroy kingdoms. Like Alexander in the book of Maccabees chapter 1. All right, when he got sick, who put that illness on him? It was the Most High, in the form of possibly syphilis, man, because he was a boy lover. Go ahead, bro. It's boy lovers.
It's Daniel 2:20. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI forever and ever.
Right.
For wisdom and might are his.
Right.
And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removed kings.
And he removed kings. Now, when you jump to Daniel, the 4th chapter, it talks about how the Most High rules within the kingdom of men. So every kingdom that came up and went down, it was on the behalf of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Go ahead, bro.
He removed kings and set it up kings.
Now, right, so he removed kings and set up kings. So the king that's about to be removed in this day and time frame is who? Esau, beginning with the nobility. And who is the king he's about to set up? YAHAWASHI. Going into what? Psalms 110 and verse 1. Go ahead.
That's why you hear brothers say the spirit out of the Most High Yahweh, he's the ultimate chess player. So you think about it like on a chessboard, you know, so you got the kings and stuff like that, you moving them in place. That's what the Heavenly Father is doing to these other nations. And he's setting up YAHAWASHI. That's why he said that when he comes back, he's going to have many crowns upon his head. You know?
And to prove that, Psalm 110 and 1, the Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord YAHAWASHI, sit you at my right hand until I make your enemies thy footstool. This is the next king that is about to be propped up.
I want to make a point to it because even when you're playing chess, when you look at a lot of the old grand chess master games, when there's only one result for the next play, and they go ahead and flip over their piece, and they shake hands because they know they lost. Yeah. And that's how the Heavenly Father has this world set up, because there's only one direction that it's going to go. That's right. And it's going to go down, right? We're looking at the reigning in of a new righteous kingdom and the uprooting of a current wicked kingdom. And that's that transition that the Heavenly Father has set up to where those particular chess pieces are on there, and it's only one move left to make.
That's right. Hey, can I bring out something real fast? Hey, this is Ecclesiastes 3 and 2. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted.
And that's what the time that we're living in right now. Hey, because when you go into the beginning of that particular chapter, it says, to all things there's a season. To all things there's a particular time.
That's right, that's right. That's right.
Hey, because there's a time to be born, there's a time to die, there's a time to be happy, and there's a time to lament. There's a time to work and there's a time to rest. So the Heavenly Father is the complete and extreme off the balance, right? So what ancient kingdom, or what historically speaking kingdom prior to this one is still here today's time?
None.
Exactly. So that proves what? That the Heavenly Father is bound by His word to where all things have a particular time period to where they begin, and they have a particular time period to where they end. You know, and we are even these bodies that we have that we were graciously able to be lent by the Heavenly Father, they have an expiration date upon them, man.
And you know what? And I got one more, and going into the EU situation. This is Revelation 17 to 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right? The 10 horns is who? EU. Which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So the EU is going to turn on America. How do we know? Via prophecy. Verse 17. This is the point. For the Most High has put in their hearts to fulfill His will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled.
Right? And as it is written, the nations shall begin to hate the whore.
So some way the Most High, He's going to throw like a wrench in, you know, some of the times that we coming into these other nations, that all these allies with America, they're going to turn against them. That's right.
The wrench already thrown, because America, you know, has pretty much made it hard for the EU, you know, to get natural gas. Like, if you're an EU nation, your best way for your economy to thrive is getting natural gas straight through Russia, where they won't have to pay all them shipping costs and all them different fees by getting it from America, you know? And Russia, they get a lot of their oil from Iran, you see? So the Most High has these nations conflict. You see, at the end of the day, like going back to the chess move, like Bun said, all these nations, all right, their best interest conflict. Like, what's best for Russia ain't best for America. What's best for America ain't best for the EU. What's best for Iran ain't best for Israel. See, everybody best interest is conflicting. And all the Most High is doing is manipulating all these nations' best interests to make them go for what kids say, I'm going for mine.
Yeah, fuck them, I'm going for mine.
You see?
Tell Bun that was a classic, bro.
Yeah, I gotta watch it one day.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I got one more, man. Hey, I got one more. I'm hot. Obadiah 1:7. All the men of your confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat your bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Now, when you go into that term confederacy, that's going into what? The allies. Going into what? The EU. So the EU basically is receiving this bread from America, right, in the form of money and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, according to Revelation chapter 17, we know it's only a matter of time for the EU actually send nuclear destruction upon America. Back on you, right?
It's Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, and the number of his months are with thee, that has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So basically, Esau, basically not Esau, America, Esau really, they got a date. A date he can't go past. So Lord, if the Lord said he gonna take out power that day, that's the day it's gonna be.
Yep.
That's it. You can't go 5 minutes more, no 2 seconds more, now goddamn minute more. It's over for you. Exactly how it is.
What it is, it's the pride of their heart.
Yeah.
If he's speaking about 2024,
Yeah.
2030, you know, when Lord will, next year could be the end, man. You know?
That's right.
It's on you, bro. It's on you.
All right. This is it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Hey, I want to say this too. And y'all on the ocean, right? It don't matter how much it rains, it never passes. It's never passed. That same way like Esau time. It don't never. And you really think about it, it's like why don't it pass? That same like Esau time.
It got a decree.
Yep,
You talk
decree.
about that decree.
That's right.
At least it's a decree that ends Esau kingdom,
Yep.
man. You know, the Most High is a king of kings, man. You see, and he's gonna get that decree. All right, you know, what's that voice activated? You know, you walk in and turn on your lights. You know, like yeah, how the Most High.
Yeah, Google Home.
Yeah, Google Home. You know, turn your shit off, man. All right, off.
Serial with no
Yeah.
Serial caller, yeah.
Voice activated. Your
Voice
shit
activate.
And what they used to say about Dre, when Doc says a rap, it's a rap.
It's a rap.
It's a rap, nigga.
All right, I got two.
All right.
Some for Taza one real quick.
Go ahead, Tyler. Break it down.
Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
See, it doesn't pass. And you know, like the Mississippi River, it flows into the ocean. You know, it's constantly flowing. But guess what? The ocean, the Gulf don't. It never just passes.
It never overflows.
It never overflows.
Man, that's might.
Yeah.
That is might, bro.
And somebody had to orchestrate that.
Exactly,
Right?
bro.
And because if not, if the Heavenly Father was this uncontrollable force or this big bang God that popped up out of nowhere, then the waters of the seas would be uncontrollable. The waves of the seas would be uncontrollable. The vegetation on earth would be uncontrollable, and we have an influx of increased vegetation on earth that would transition itself into the ocean and create algae, create pollution, bacteria.
It'll be straight chaotic.
It'd be straight chaotic, man.
It's a system already naturally set up.
That's right. Hey, just like it's like, bro. Hey, just like how the mother spoke upon, she knoweth not how the bones formed in her womb,
Yeah.
or how they grow it.
Yeah.
Even scientists to this very day can't understand how something solid can extend itself over someone's lifespan, man.
Right. And not pierce through.
You know.
That's crazy.
Psalm chapter 22, verse 28. For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is the governor among the nations. And it shows how the Heavenly Father is always in power.
That's right. That's
You know?
right. Because the governor is a leader. You know. Hey, YAHAWAH also was. Is that in the book of Isaiah?
9.
Yeah, he's also classified as that governor.
That's right.
You know.
Got some back up times we want to stay. This the book of Psalm 148, start at verse 5. Let them praise the name of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, for he commanded and they were created. He had also established them forever and ever. He had made a decree which should not pass. And it says, fire and hail snow and vapor, stormy will, or stormy wind, fulfilling his word. Mountains and all hills, fruitful trees and all cedars, beasts and all cattle.
It goes to show you that everything that's on earth has a spirit in it. But these spirits are also manipulated by what? A good and not good.
Here's the point. It says, beasts and all cattle, creeping things, and flying fowl, kings of the earth and all people, and princes and all judges of the earth.
Right. So everybody has a time frame to shine. Everybody has a time frame to go down. And that's how beautiful YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is, because can't nobody say in the kingdom of heaven they never had a chance, man.
Even the women.
Even the fucking women, man. Okay, so even them, they had their time frame of rule, which is the time frame right now. Their glory days. Hey, this is for Tazwan. This is Proverbs 8:29, and we keep calling Tazwan. He ain't said. Hey, Proverbs 8:29. When he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth.
I had another one too. You get some?
No, but basically, like I'm saying, like it's like you can't, like you can't. It's not gonna overflow. It's gonna stay exactly how the Lord made it.
Yeah.
And then I watch it. My one brother post, like you saying, y'all the salt water and fresh water. I seen the picture. They didn't mix. They didn't do it. They just stayed. It just stayed divided.
And you can see the line.
You can see the
that
line.
separated them.
Yeah.
Right. You
Yeah.
can see the line, and that's crazy that you have water. You
Yeah.
know that will obey compared
Yeah.
to 2/3 of these
Yeah.
niggas, man.
I think that's in Los Cabos, Mexico, with the Casilla Cortez.
I don't know.
You know, but they have an arch back there, and right at that arch, that's where it,
That's where it was at.
that's where the
That's where it
separation
was
is.
at.
I got something in Job.
Oh, yeah, bring it.
Job 26:7. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing.
Say hanging the earth on nothing. Hey, see, when you look at creation and when you look at, you know, existence, all right, there's something governing all these things, man. You know, do you know how hot these stars are and how hot the sun is for these things to be the perfect distance from the sun? I mean, the sun to be perfect distance from the earth, all right, to heat the earth up, but not to burn it.
Yeah.
You see, that's calculated, man. You know?
And you know what? And it's so wild, man. You think about a basketball, right?
Yep.
And you know, you have a basketball and you put your hand up and you take your hand from the basketball and it just stays there. That's how the earth is.
Yep.
That's power, man.
Yeah, because why the earth ain't falling.
Exactly. What's keeping it up?
Yeah.
Like these different planets, like the Most High's ornaments. You know, so you have the ornaments you put on the tree.
Yeah.
And so all you people that don't believe in YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, man, y'all people fucked up in the head. 'Cause that's a power that you can't
Deny.
You can't deny.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
Yeah, that's like if I make a sign and then y'all start worshiping the sign, y'all need to worship me. I created the fucking sign.
Yeah,
So how you gonna fucking worship the sun,
Or the
moon,
universe.
a fucking snake and cows and shit, but you can't actually worship or reverence YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI?
The creator of all things.
Jake love to say, oh, those are the universe.
Yeah, they love saying that universe thing.
That's Satan and shit.
Yeah, they say they speak unto the universe, they speak it into existence.
Universe and slap the shit out of you. You got it, bro. 525.
Right.
What you niggas been putting out in the universe?
And in Jeremiah 5:25,
Yeah.
your iniquities have turned away these things,
Yep.
and your sins have withhold.
Yeah, 22. Yep. Yep, yeah, 5:22. Because the Most High will remind Israel, like when you read in the scripture, when the Most High is talking about what he did, he trying to put Israel in remembrance, like, look, you know what I'm capable of, man. You know, y'all cutting up doing what y'all want to do, but you know what I'm capable of. Go ahead.
This Jeremiah 5:22. Fear you not me,
Yep.
said the Most High.
So Most High, you don't fear me. You know? Go ahead.
Will you not tremble at my My presence.
You won't tremble at his presence. And what's the presence of the Lord in the earth? The prophets. All right? You know, because this is what you got to read. During this time of Jeremiah, they was under the influence of the Babylonians before, all right, they was taken captive. And what you had wicked rulers amongst Jacob. And Jeremiah was cussing those wicked kings out, man, those wicked priests, you know? Because why, man? They had become very wicked. Because remember when Samuel hit the scene, what they say, has I come for good or evil? You know, they feared at the presence of the Lord through the prophets. But Jake had got beside themselves, man. So the Most High sent Jeremiah, like, you don't fear me? You don't tremble at my presence no more? You know? And that's what Jake had today. They don't tremble at the presence of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, man. Through the prophets. Go ahead.
Which I have placed the sand for the bounds of the sea by a perpetual decree.
Yep, a perpetual decree. Because he gave them the decree in the beginning of existence through who? YAHAWASHI. You see? And that decree hasn't been broken yet. You know, Elder High, remember that scene on Game of Thrones when those two brothers was fighting? But then when the king said something, they both dropped down immediately. Yep. You know, hey, the decree came and hey, they stopped fighting and they showed reverence, and that's how existence does to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. That's why YAHAWASHI had full control, you know, over the tempest, which were the angels manipulating the elements. You see, but that's the power that we serve, man. That's why you have to go into Jacob's trouble with this mindset of who we serve, man. All right, go ahead.
That it cannot pass it, and through the waves thereof toss themselves. Yet can they not prevail.
Hey, he said, though the waves toss themselves. And Esau Edom, what's that in Psalms 124? Because Esau Edom, the scripture referred to him as the proud waters. And Esau is tossing himself. He's trying to get past that bound that's set up. But he's not going to make it. So even though he tossing himself, you know, he cutting up in the earth with all this madness and mandates and, you know, the juice, all right? He's doing all these things, but he's not going to be able to pass, all right, that bound because it's a decree that put him in power. It's a decree that's going to take him out of power, man. Go ahead.
Though they roar, yet cannot pass over.
Yeah, Esau was roaring, but he's not going to pass over, man. So when you see the sea, you know, going to and fro, it's doing all that. It's doing all that chaotic behavior, but it still has a bound.
Yeah.
Now you look in the ocean like it's cutting up right now, but we on dry ground. You know. Yeah, it's hurricanes be in the ocean, and you know it's chaotic. All right. But guess what? They still have a bound, and that's what we're seeing with Esau Edom. He's doing all this cutting up, but he can't go nowhere. He's limited in what he can do, man. All right. Yeah, that was it. You got one.
He in that padded room with the straitjacket on, still going crazy.
He's hitting the wall,
screaming, bouncing, trying to create as much hell and havoc as he possibly can, even under the restrictions of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI.
Good.
And there's some.
It's the book of Psalm 10 and 11. He has said in his heart, the Most High have forgotten. He hid it his face, he will never see it.
Yeah, and that's how Esau Edom is moving, as if he doesn't have an overseer, man. You know? Esau is moving like there's no judgment, you know, above his judgment. You know? So now, what we're about to see is the Most High make a great example out of Esau Edom, man. You know?
I got a quick one.
You got it, bro.
Hebrews 12 and 9.
Yep.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence.
Yep.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Yep. So here it is. We have carnal fathers, you know, that whoop our ass or punish us or ground us, you know, or discipline us, and we gave them reverence. You know, right? We were our whole mood would change when we hear the truck pulling up or the car pulling up. You know, you knew it was about time for them to get off. All right, he called your name. You know, you got straight immediately. You see? So how much more YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI? Look what he's doing in the earth, man. He got it, bro.
Like I said, you know, just the lamb back, the father of spirits, the Most High is the father of Esau's spirits.
Yep.
So we can't fear what Esau has to do to us because he's only a robot, all right, under YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI.
Yep. What's that? With the Isaiah 40:54?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it already? Yeah, you got it.
All right. It's Isaiah chapter 51 and verse beginning at 12 down to 13. Even I am he that comforteth you.
Yep.
Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die?
Yeah, so here we are being comforted by this word. You know, the Most High is constantly showing that he's dealing, you know, with that hopeful elect, man. All right? Brothers seeing 144 everywhere, these visions. You know, brothers is in the spirit to be active. You know, yep, chariots. You know, here it is. We have all these tokens that YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is dealing with us. And this is our comfort, man. So he's like, I'm comforting you. You know, what you got with all the, what they exoteric, you were saying, you were speaking on this, watching it this morning. You see, because we see things and when nobody else see it. Like, when we see a car, 144 on the side, you know, brothers make a point and then you hear the horn, you know. So it's like, it's me that's comforting you. Like, why is you worried about this nigga, man? And what he talk about, he gonna do. Esau can't get a decree for the elect not to eat. You know, there's people on earth that's given to Esau, all right? And he finna wreak havoc on them. But with the elect, he doesn't have the authority to give decrees on the elect, man. You know, things might affect us, but he doesn't have the last say-so in the situation when it comes to the elect, man.
It's kind of like that old Viper commercial. Y'all remember that? Protected by Viper, stand down.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the old security system.
Yeah, the old security system.
Yeah.
You
got it, bro.
And of the Son of Man, which shall be made as grass.
Yeah, the Son of Man, which shall be made as grass, which are Esau Edom. All right? Which means what? He going to be cut down. All right? When you see the lawnmower going through the grass, all you see is the blades coming out the side. That's how YAHAWASHI finna do, all right, Esau, man. When he come through them chairs, it's going to be like cutting grass, man. He just gonna be mowing them down, man.
And Esau likened to a snake.
Yep.
So not a blade on his head.
Yep. All this shit he was talking about then, YAHAWASHI come through and just, his ass just being mowed out, man. You know? Go ahead.
Like verse 13. And forgettest the Lord, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, thy maker, that have stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth.
Yeah, so our people who you see, you know, that's being moved by all these mandates of Esau Edom, they have forgotten their power, man. Because if they knew their power, they would knew that their power was above this guy, man. What's that in Ecclesiastes 5 and 8? You know? And Esau Edom, all right, is pretty much a guide to our people. It gets no higher than Esau Edom for the masses of our people, man.
Right.
You know?
This is on, right? It say, and as feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor.
And it's feared every day continually because of the fury of the oppressor. Because Esau's he's making these mandates because he's furious, man. This nigga is mad. He don't care about his constitution anymore. All right? We're losing patience. You know? So this man is saying, look, you got certain European nations where they talking about putting you in prison next year for not complying, man. Right. So this man is speaking in his fury. Yeah. And Jake is curling up, man. You see, go ahead.
As if he were ready to destroy.
Yep.
And where is the fury of the oppressor?
Yeah, so he's been talking in his fury about what he gonna do and what we better do. And if we don't do it, he gonna do this. And it's gonna be very uncomfortable, you know, for those that ain't complying. All right, I think that was in Germany. They said either people gonna take the juice, be cured, or die. You know, that's what they said in Germany, man.
Yeah, that death is talking about being assisted.
Yeah, need some help, homie.
Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment, and justice in a province.
Yeah, so a province, you know, in America is like a big province, man. You know, wherever you're in these different states, because we see the injustices that's going on. Like Jake's still mad because an Edomite can kill somebody and get off, all right? But Jake do it, get 100 years. Duh, nigga. You still surprised by that?
Right.
You know? Yeah. Duh. All right, Jacob's in the uproar because they see injustices. But the scripture tell you, look, when you see these things, don't marvel at it.
That's right.
And it's gonna tell you why. Go ahead.
Marvel not at the matter.
Yeah, marvel not at the matter. So you really ain't supposed to be protesting. You're marveling at the matter.
Exactly.
You know.
Trying to take things in your own hands.
Yeah, you're marveling at the matter that this cop can shoot the Israelite. You know, Edomite cop shoot the Israelite, get away with it. You know, go ahead.
For he that is higher than the highest regard, and there be higher than they.
Hey, the highest of the highest, there's levels to this, man. Because the elites they up there, man.
That's right.
They already home. You see? But it's something, it's a power above them. You see? He's gonna have to deal with judgment for what he's doing in the earth. All right?
Romans 13:1,
Yep.
let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
Yeah, so the Most High set him up for a purpose, man. You know, just like we were spoken of earlier, the Most High wanted the earth to be drunk off Babylon, man.
Yeah.
That's why he set him up, so he can judge. All right? YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, you know, he's the ultimate chess player. All right? He rose Esau up to influence the Cain.
Some kind of 6 shots.
Right. You got Nahum. Yeah.
This book of Nahum 1 and 2.
Yep.
The Most High Yahweh is jealous, and the Most High Yahweh revengeth. The Most High Yahweh revengeth and is furious.
Yep.
The Most High will take vengeance on his adversaries.
Yep. Hey, see, the Most High is jealous over his people because Israel is likened to, you know, his woman. And see, now what you have is his woman crying out. But we're in the possession of another man. All right? So now the Most High is pretty much provoking himself to anger with jealousy, man. All right? And what's that scripture? The rage of a man. Jealousy, the rage of the man. See, that's that most pure rage. You see? The Most High is hyping himself up, man. For that pure rage, man. For the judgment. You got it, bro.
And it says, and he reserved wrath for his enemies.
He reserved wrath for his enemies. The wrath is reserved, like every day that go by is greater wrath being stored up for this place, man. You know? And that's another way to kind of cope with this society, to understand like the vexation and the hell we catch. That's another day that the Most High has stored up wrath to unleash on this place, man. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Yep.
The Most High Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power.
He's slow to anger, but he's great in power.
That shows he's self-controlled.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You see all this chaos going on in the world, you still got to be bounded by your word, man.
He has that spiritual frame.
Knowing that you got the power, you can be able to enact whatever you want to do right now.
Well, YAHAWAH, he had to show you that he of his father.
But hey, remember, hey, the greatest power starts with controlling yourself.
Yep.
Okay, it says, and will not at all acquit the wicked.
John 19, I think 10.
Yep. Okay, it says, and will not all acquit the wicked.
And he would not at all acquit the wicked. Because what do you hear breaking news? Such and such acquitted on all charges. This, you know, such and such is acquitted on all charges, on all counts. All right? But see, the Most High is not going to quit this devil, man. You know? Because the earth is going to be his courtroom, man. And the earth is going to be the place of execution, man.
Hey, I got a quick.
You got it.
Psalms chapter 7, verse 11. The Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day.
And the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. All right? He read.
And we ain't got it, man. We ain't got it.
Yeah, we don't got no money.
We ain't got it, man. We gotta do a show, man.
Bro,
But we know.
all right. I'm going to read it again. The Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. If he turns not, he will wet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready. If he turn not, he will wet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready.
Yeah, that's the nuclear destruction. The scriptures say he's angry with the wicked every day. Then it talks about what? How the Most High is bending his bow. You see? Go ahead.
If he turn not, he will wet his sword. He hath been his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death.
He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. What's that? Isaiah. He prepared the waste of
He ordained of his arrows against the persecutors.
Yep.
Behold, he travaileth with iniquity and hath conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
Yeah, and that's Esau Edom in his empire. He's finna fall into the ditch which he made because Esau Edom is planning to try to enslave, you know, society farther than what it is, man. But he's going to end up in captivity. He's going to end up the one that's going to suffer the most death in World War III, man. You know?
Hey, with that, brothers and sisters, edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
YAHAWAH BAHASHam YAHAWASHI.
on the other side, Elder Apostle, Elder Bishop, the Great Millstone, rule well. Peace, blessed in the house of everything elect. Abba, Abba.
Abba, Abba.
Shalom.
Shalom.
How about Shalom? Shalom.